and we can't find any wire. I think wireless technology was invented by that. And making decisions during tough time, you have to really be decisive. You have to move fast. There's no time because you're bleeding. If a bleed is going on, the doctor has to quickly decide to chop or keep. You cannot wait because you're bleeding torrentially. So I learned how to really make very tough, difficult, painful, bold decisions in good faith, literally. And I got to learn how to give hope to people and focus on the long term, micromanage difficult things like cash flow and so on. That's where I learned all my P&L statement. I didn't go to financial school, but I can take on accountants anytime. I even know how to hire the best accountant, financial controller. You know how you do it? There was a story about a CEO trying to look for the best FC. He wrote down on the whiteboard, 1 + 1 = what? Many candidates came in and said 2, 2, 2, all get fired. Then one guy, sneaky looking guy came in, go out and close the window, close the door and say, how much you want it to be? When you're running a business, please don't hire this kind of accountant, okay? So I learned to manage what I can control and leave the rest to God, okay? And whatever you do, don't compromise on the integrity. Because if you compromise that, the bank will never trust you. And integrity includes income tax. Trust me, if you compromise that, it's very serious. Have you heard the story about this strong man who went to the pub and he took an orange and squeezed, and 1 glass of juice came up? He challenged anybody. I kowtowed to anyone who can squeeze out more juice than me. Everybody tried, couldn't. Then one skinny lady came in, took the orange, wow, 3 glasses ah! How you do it? Very simple, I work for income tax department. If you compromise on your integrity, hey, please, don't laugh so much, okay? I need to continue my talk. I've learned through all this that you must not compromise on your integrity, okay? And I also learned many lessons. That's why we found a new value system for our company. I realized that in order to vaccinate, immunize against bad time, I have to have a good culture in the company, a fun culture, culture where people are governed by values that make sense. So when I hire somebody, I look for integrity first. I made so many mistakes because I was looking for charisma and intelligence. I should be looking for integrity first, then intelligence, but I made that mistake. I have so many shareholders as a result of that. I look for faithfulness, not just loyalty. Loyal, no use, because you stay long, just stay grey will do, you can stay very long. Who said that just now? Remember? We look for faithfulness. You are there, do your work faithfully, whether boss see or no see, doesn't matter. You must be dependable, available, and you must have good EQ. No point hiring somebody every day, fight, and then fight customer, fight with me, everybody. And then only look at the IT skill. So I realized that during good times, you have to plan for all these things. And I've learned that to value my employees, because if you don't treat them well, you don't value them, you're not their friend. During bad time, you know, 20 of them will resign. So now I treat them very well. They are my friends. They are like my family. You know, this picture was Lee May, one of my ops guys. They had a very difficult account. Patient customer keeps scolding them. I feel so sorry for them. I got my PA sitting down here, and I told her go and quietly buy some sunflower. And during a staff meeting, I called everyone up and give them sunflower. Some of them say, "Ayo, even my husband don't give me sunflower leh." And a lot of them never tried balong juice, so I bought balong juice for them. And because somebody said something nice on Facebook, I give them like $50 suddenly. And then this guy go around during an exhibition. He's only an intern, by the way. He carried this placard to bring in customer for us during a seminar. And people ask him, why you carry like this? How much your boss pay you? He said, nothing will pay, no amount of money will make me do that, but I love my boss. When I heard that, you know what I did? I said, Michael, sit down, let me massage your neck for you. Before I end this slide, please connect with me.
I thought his ability to capture an audience's imagination was exemplary. I think the history of himself, his openness, his transparency, his sense of humour, and the advice that he gave to teachers is very important. And that advice you'd like to think teachers would and school leaders would share with their children. If you get knocked down, you pick yourself up. you know. If you get knocked down again, you pick yourself up again, and you keep rubbing yourself off until eventually you make it through. I thought it was a good speech. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it had some good information in there, and I know the audience enjoyed it.
Also found Dr. Lau very, very amusing, but I love people who present from the heart, because I think that really the future of anything, education, anything really, is about being able to touch your heart and being able to be proud enough of your failures to be able to talk about them with the entire world. I think we hear and see a lot about people being successful, but we have absolutely no idea how they attain that success.
Successful event is where you actually feel the energy level of the hall being very high. There's a lot of laughter, yet in between the laughter, like what Dr. Low did, was a lot of serious thoughts and reflections, and I think that's a big takeaway.
For the doctor's presentation, I must say he's very witty, very passionate about what he's doing, and one thing I like about his presentation is that he talks about integrity. To be able to fulfill your integrity and not to let people down, I think it's a very important attribute of a person, and also at the same time having that lecture in the afternoon is not easy, but he's able to interject us and give us a lot of energy because of his very interesting and funny stories. So I really enjoy coming, and no regrets.
What I value was the authentic nature of his sharing. That being the letter A, his authentic is genuine and very credible. And I think he shares the essence of it without even having any kind of camouflage. The other thing was he being very true to himself, and I found that very credible. What's more, I think I value a lot his being very candid in his sharing. And I think that brings a lot of credibility to what he has said. I would say that a lot of insights I've learned today from the sharing of Dr. Low.
People like Dr. Low Lee Yong, I think he's one speaker that, has left a deep impression with a lot of audience, judging at the responses from the audience that I talked to. If you notice his speech, he is somewhat an unconventional person, because my takeaway from his speech is that he's someone who is very real, very original, I would say, very original, and of course very humorous. And one thing I always tell him, that Dr. Low, your joke really carries a lot of substance. It's something whereby, we have to think, not just listening only, but after that we still have to digest. Wow, Dr. Low, I can't wait to, invite you again for our next event.
Get connected with Dr. Low Lee Yong.